Today, we want to play with you, visit with you about anything that matters to you. We're going to help you get the wobble out of whatever you got the wobble in. And we want to show you how easy it is to really be wobble-free, and how once you are consistently tending to that, do you know, this really is an important thing to know, when you sleep at night, your momentum subsides, it stops. When you are not consciously focused with your thinking mechanism while you are asleep, your momentum stops. It's like pushing the reset button. When you wake up, for just a brief moment, you are wobble-free until you remember who you were mad at yesterday and start beating the drum of it again, or you remember the things you don't want to do, or you remember how unworthy you feel or how bad life has been to you. But when you first awaken in the morning, that's your best opportunity. It's why we teach meditation too. When you meditate, you quiet your mind. When you quiet mind, you stop thought. When you stop thought, you stop momentum. When you stop momentum, now you have the best opportunity to be in alignment with who you really are. Alignment is like a cork bobbing on the surface of the water. You can hold it under the water. That's what resistance is. When you let go of it, it's going to bob right up. And while you're asleep, you let go of it and bob right up. When you wake up, you take hold of it and pull it right back down. What's all that happiness? That's not who I am. I really want to feel good. I want to feel good like that sunshiny person over there. I'm going to live happily ever after. Not. What do you want to talk about? A lot of trouble in this room. We're going to have a really good day. So now you know everything we know. Now you know everything about the laws of the universe that are important for you to know. Now you know everything about your guidance system. So now the only thing that's left for you are two important things. First, you have to accept that your emotions are your wobble indicator. They are your resistance or your allowing indicator. They are your on the path or off your path indicator. They are the being true to you or not being true to you indicator. That's what your emotions are. That's first and most important that you have to know. You have to accept it. You have to remember it. You have to believe it. You have to know that. And second, you have to care about how you feel. You have to be unwilling to put up with early wobbles because they're going to get more. And what happens is, oh, that doesn't bother me that much. Oh, that's all right. I don't feel any really strong pain about that. I can stand that. Yeah, it's been going on a long time, but I'm strong. I can take care of myself. It's all right. I'll be all right. And everybody lives like that and so on. So, but as it gets bigger and bigger, then you start joining chat rooms about it. Then you start going to those meetings with other people that are leaving that same sort of dysfunction. Then you start drinking things and shooting things and ingesting things in order to numb the discord. In other words, what are you drinking? Wobble-free juice. Really? Wobble-free juice? Well, no, it just covers up the wobble. It makes me unaware of the wobble. It makes me unaware of the wobble. Well, does it help? Well, at first. At first it helps, but eventually my life goes to pieces. And so what do you do then? I just drink more. I drink more. I shop more. I do more things to try to fill the void, the wobble void. I try to fill the void with action and behavior. How's that working out? Not that well, but I keep believing that eventually I'll find something that will soothe the pain of my disconnect from the source who is me. There's nothing that soothes that. You just got to stop the wobble. And when you get good at that, in time, there'll be very few wobbles. There'll just be those preliminary wobbles that help you launch more rockets of desire. But you do not have to live without the things that you want. You are creators. You can be or do or have anything. The entire universe backs you up. You just can't contradict your own path and feel good. And you know, everything that every one of you want or has ever wanted or ever will want, everything that you want, whether it's a relationship or a pile of money or an enterprise or a material object or a circumstance or an event, everything that you want because you believe you will feel better in the having of it. And what we want to show you is that if you can not wait until you're out there in the weeds, in the wobble zone, trying to deal with conditions that have so much momentum that you just get scrambled, so that there are endless books written on parenting Yeah, you should do that. No, 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 you should do that. And we say, none of it works if you wait till you get out there, because you're responding to conditions. You're at the bottom of the hill. You're trying to stop the momentum. You're not going to do it. The only thing that works is to get at the beginning of the momentum and to line up with the whole of who you are, and then take the whole of who you are into this conversation, into this situation. So momentum is really a big part of this conversation in the wobble factor, because if you are launching your rockets of desire, but then you're countering it with, well, I would like more money, but there's not enough. And I would like more money. I would really like more money, but I don't have enough. And I would like more money because I would like to pay my bills. And I would like more money, but I don't know hardly anybody that's got enough money. And I would like more money, but the government is so screwy with our money. I would like more money, but the government takes way too much of our money. I would like more money, but my wife is a crazy woman with a credit card. I like more money, but my husband doesn't earn enough money. I would like more money, but my employer won't give me enough money. In other words, you get all this momentum going until you've got quite a wobble going on out here in the conditions that you are examining. And what goes wrong is that then when you think that the way that you get to the place that you want to be is by solving those conditions, what you find out is when the wobble is severe, you can't. The momentum is too great. You can't stop the momentum of those thoughts, those beliefs. A belief is just a thought you've practiced into a very strong vibration. So the beliefs that you've practiced that match your true trajectory or your path of least resistance, those thoughts, those beliefs serve you and feel good when you focus upon them. But those beliefs that contradict your true path or your true trajectory, they don't feel so good. And we're just saying, if you can catch that wobble in the earlier stage, it's really easy to deal with. But if you wait until it's out there and all kinds of conditions have occurred or been realized by you because of the consistency of the wobble, you see, you get what you think about whether you want it or not. So when you talk about what you want in the absence of it, and what you want in the absence of it, and what you want in the absence of it, and what you want in the absence of it, you've got this mixed vibration going on, and you're living some of all of that, and it's a rocky ride, isn't it? So there's lots of ways that we've been saying that to you. Bless your hearts. You've been following us around and listening to all of these rampages for such a long time. We said you create your own reality. Step 1, step 2, step 3, upstream, downstream. You create this vortex, we wrote a whole book about that too, this vortex of creation. There's this vortex of creation, and then we hammered at you, get in the vortex, get in the vortex, get in the vortex, get in the vortex. You said, if only we could get in the vortex. How in the hell do we get in the vortex? Get in the vortex. We said, everything you want is in the vortex, in the vortex, in the vortex. And then you said, I get it. All my money's in the vortex, but I want to get it out of the vortex and into the bank. How do I get it out of the vortex and into the bank? So then we began talking to you about your grid, about this, where you stand right now, your point of attraction, this atmosphere where you are vibrationally, this atmosphere that you must achieve vibrational alignment with what's in your vortex. And when you do, when there's no resistance, seamlessly what's in your vortex will move into your reality. Jerry called it years ago, turning thoughts to things. Turning those thoughts to things. How do the things that are in the vortex, how do those desires and goals and wishes, how do they become reality? You have to achieve a vibrational frequency that allows you to realize them, you see. That's how thoughts turn to things. And so now we're giving you the big piece of it. Now you'll get it. Now you'll get it. If you listen back, there isn't anything that we've ever said to you that doesn't fit perfectly with what we're saying to you right here and now. It's just more clarification of the same thing. You are source energy in a physical body, and you have a trajectory. And when you line up with that trajectory, when you dovetail with it, when you add to it, when you are in vibrational sync with it, you feel so wonderful. Sometimes people say, oh, it worries me. Abraham's trying to get me to be really selfish, and everybody else too. If everybody's selfish, won't they do bad things to each other? And we say, no one ever does anything unkind to another when they are in vibrational sync with who they are. It is not a possible thing. Those people that are acting out and hurting others are hurting themselves in a very big way. You just don't know it. They've got split energy. They're responding to conditions. They feel out of control. They got a big time wobble going. They don't know what else to do. But you do. You do. The key is, What unconditional wobblinessness is, what unconditional not wobbling is not wobbling when you are looking at a condition. We're not asking you to withdraw from the conditions of the world. You can't do that. We're asking you to not wobble when you look at the conditions. So Esther listened to us talking about this unconditional condition for a while, this unconditional state of being. And one day, after she'd been doing some morning writing and she was feeling really good, and she looked out over her pool in Texas, and she fixated on these beautiful cranes that have been sculpted by a really wonderful artist, and they look like two cranes standing there. They are so realistic. And Esther was just appreciating the beauty of them, the balance of them, the perfection of them. It felt new to her. They've been standing there for 4 years, but they looked new. They were so extra beautiful. And then she noticed the big oak trees. There's 3 of them right there. And the pool that is so lovely. It's a zero-edge pool and an infinity edge. And everything about it was lovely. And a red bird in that tree and a red bird over there in that tree. And she was just sitting there feasting on all of this beauty around her. And then she had a thought. She said, Abraham, you've been teaching us about unconditional love, about being unconditional, but these are conditions that I'm focused upon. That's a condition of beautiful art, and that's a condition of mastery. The creation of that pool was a masterful thing. And these trees are incredible creation, and these birds. I'm looking at conditions. Abraham, I don't believe I'm having unconditional love here because I'm in love with these beautiful conditions. And we said the difference is you were in love before you found the condition just now. She wasn't looking for something to feel good about. She wasn't looking for a condition that would cause her to feel good. She felt good, and then the condition was realized in a more dramatic way than it ever had been before. So what we're saying here is what you want to do is think a thought that's as wobble-free as possible. And when you find one that wobbles, just step back from it a little bit. Feel as good as you can feel and still feel good. Be as specific as you can be and still feel good. Be as focused upon the details as you can be and still feel good. So for example, let's say that in this scenario, you are often, let's say even usually, the one who's tuned in, tapped in, turned on. You're usually feeling pretty good. You're not worried about things. But your wife is more worried about this and worried about that. And so she's off on one of her worrisome rants. That's a stronger word than applies. And you are sort of taking the hit of it because you felt pretty good before that. And now you're not feeling so good. So now that condition has got you introducing resistance into your vibration. Now you're starting to wobble and you blame her. So it doesn't matter what caused her to wobble, she's still wobbling. And it doesn't matter what caused you to wobble, you're still wobbling. In other words, wobbling is wobbling. And the sooner that you decide to stop blaming whatever the wobble factor is and focus upon the fact that you're wobbling and that you could do something about it, the better. That'd be like standing out on the edge of something. You're about to fall into the Grand Canyon, and instead of getting your balance, you're blaming somebody for leading you down the wrong trail. If you hadn't taken that fork in the road back there, we wouldn't be in this situation. I think you should think about your mapping skills, because you don't do that then. You just do what matters most, which is you don't fall in the Grand Canyon. Right. And that's what we want you to start thinking about with this wobble. Just don't wobble. Don't wobble, because the wobble matters. Because the wobble means you're off your trajectory, and it doesn't matter why. Unconditional. It doesn't matter why. Because if it matters why, you're just going to wobble more. Because you can't focus upon the reason for the wobble without the wobble getting greater. Ooh, don't you love knowing that?
Oh, yeah.
So, you get what you think about, and you have quite a mix of thoughts going on, don't you? When you focus upon something and you don't contradict it with a countering thought, that thought has more power because it's purer. Resistance is what slows things down. You know that just from the physics that you know in your time-space reality. An airplane flying through the sky at 30,000 feet, 500 miles an hour or so, still has some resistance. The air has resistance. The astronauts have felt the experience of moving out of the atmosphere where the gravitational pull is different and there is less resistance.